You know, I think men are in crisis, actually, in this country. I think that plays out different ways. And not all men are in crisis, of course. And not all men are just at home listening to Joe Rogan, being angry or being recruited to fascism. Some just need therapy, like we all do. I go to therapy. That's great. But I think we need to have a real conversation about that rather than allowing this kind of drift toward this faux masculinity that we see Donald Trump evincing.
And what I see is...
All right. I want to start off with you, Tyrone, on this. We've been seeing this lately in the news. They've been coming at men pretty hard, specifically Black men. So, do you need therapy?
No, I don't. But, I think this is just more of the manifestation of feminism allowed to run wild in the media. It's funny that we live in this country right now that doesn't really face any major military threat. So, it's easy to deride a concept like masculinity when, the women here, they don't need to fear, looking at a man in the wrong way or, saying the wrong thing. They can go out and get whatever type of employment that they seek. Women are doing very well in that regard. So one of the decadent aspects of where we are today as a society is that we have to create a whole bunch of problems. And the latest problem is, we don't need masculinity, so let's deride it. So you see more and more of it. It's been coming it's been, manifesting for a long time. But I think at the end of the day, as history unfolds, something will happen and women will be all too happy to get back into the kitchen and start making sandwiches, as opposed to being on somebody's front line and really dealing with serious issues that we've seen crop up around the world and in our history.
Hotep, what are your thoughts on that video? Is this what the left really thinks about men who vote for Trump or men who reject Kamala?
You sure you want my answer?
Absolutely. This is not a dictatorship here. Everyone is free to exercise their thoughts and opinions.
If you vote for Trump, you definitely need therapy. I said it. You need therapy. First of all, as a grown-ass man, why are you voting? That's first of all. As a grown-ass man, why are you voting?
You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Only person that got my vote is me. Nah, in all seriousness. Yes and no. It's a yes and no situation, because some of these MAGA people, from the Black perspective, we've got two enemies. At the same time, while we're trying to point out how racist the Democrat policies are, the MAGA people don't exactly be pristine and beacons of light. There's a lot of little racist innuendos and stuff, and it's not exact. So we have enemies on both sides as Black people. I just gotta say that. So it's a very difficult task. So I say, for example, when we talk about a MAGA voter, these are the same MAGA voters that said this Black pilot went through a DEI program. He's a DEI pilot. Oh my God, the plane gonna fall out the sky because DEI pilot. This is what I call the woke right. Everybody, y'all don't remember that?
No. Do you have a quote or?
Oh man, this is Charlie Kirk. Y'all know who Charlie Kirk is?
I know who he is. I don't follow him.
Okay, you know who Charlie Kirk
Yeah, I know who Charlie Kirk is, but we're talking about Trump and Kamala.
What I'm saying is the woman said, do the men that support Donald Trump need therapy? And what I'm saying is Charlie Kirk might need some therapy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see.
You
So
see what I'm saying?
Some people. Okay.
Some of them. That's why I said it's a yes or no. You know, like if you're talking about me, you know, I got my MAGA hat right here. You feel what I'm saying? Like I got no problem saying, I like Trump. I got no problem saying I support Trump's candidacy. You know, but some of these people do need therapy.
And probably people like that on both sides.
Absolutely.
Now, and you mentioned the Black community. Well, Black community primarily votes for the left. I mean, are we going to continue voting that way, or are we going to exercise our economic power and our right to maybe do something differently and not be taken advantage of by the political party that we continually to vote for, and we really get nothing in return for it?
Hotep, you started off, you compared the Democrat Party to the MAGA, I guess, section or faction of the Republican Party. So I was a little, maybe not sure, because you didn't compare party to party, because the things that you described happens on both sides, maybe to a larger or lesser degree, one or the other. So that was my little confusion initially.
I said that. Yeah.
Okay. So number two, this lady in particular, I find it, hypocritical at best. If a woman can say what a man needs or shouldn't do or say, but let a man tell her what to do with her body, then, he has no place to do that. He has no standing. He has no right. So that's my problem with that. Not only that, and interestingly enough, she didn't say, she kind of couched over the Black men being told by Obama, because I don't think she wanted to go down this. So she wanted to couch it under all men. No, what she really wanted to say, I believe, is that she wants Black men to get therapy, because this is who Obama was addressing his comments to. And so this woman, in my never to be humble opinion, she is running scared like the rest of Kamala Harris's group or campaign is doing so.
Damn.
Okay.
Shit. You got to fan your mic off after that.
Well, in terms of what that lady said, therapy, psychology, that's actually very much rooted in Marxism. And the same therapists, the same psychologists are the ones that tell children that they can, chop up their body and take hormones and change their gender. So these therapies, who knows what is the result of therapy? Depends on what kind of therapy you're getting. And really, people on both sides everywhere, what they need is they need God and not a psychologist, because who knows what the psychologist, is really pushing. And like I said, psychology is very much linked to Marxism. They were kind of developing hand in hand at the same time. In terms of racism, that's what Hotep said about racism. Racism is something that is not just a white issue. There are plenty of white racists, but there's also plenty of Black racists or Asian racists or Arab racists. So, and I feel like it's a global thing, a phenomenon that just exists, and we have to strive not to see race, because that's the only way that we can live in a society and see each other as human beings.
It's tribalism. It worked well maybe before we became a global community and you wanted to identify outsiders. But hey, if we're going to be a global community at some point, we're going to have to evolve past tribalism. It's funny how our technology really advances very, very quickly, far outpaces our maturity as a species. So, when we look at these issues, a lot of them, if we really take a couple of steps back, it has more to do with the socioeconomic strata most times than it does with a particular color of someone's skin. There are people in Appalachia right now that are figuring out that they're no better off than people in West Baltimore, Walbrook Junction, where I grew up, when it comes to what the government will or will not do for them. Okay, two different skin colors, but same socioeconomic class, and the same ill treatment or, just lack of attention when your tax dollars have been put into a system that can't even now drop off food for you after you've had everything destroyed.